Ooh, and he misses the winch claw.
Chaotic here is trading bodies, but we do hear a res come out, and that's going to be BURTS looking pretty solid here. Despite being depleted in health, they are all together, and that is the wipe. So nice lockout there. And despite the glitch grenade not really making contact in that fight, it seemed as though they all just sort of won their little engagements. Lots of damage lost on the side of BURTS, which just goes to show that maybe a lack of lethality on NoName there, weren't able to finish off their targets.
Yeah, I think that's a good analysis. I mean, I think it's interesting that they even engaged before the vault was open. They really kind of got into the fight, into the action, you know, early. I think that could have been played a little differently. So we are kind of seeing that aggression from NoName, and they have made this mistake before, where they just kind of are playing too aggressive, too confident, and BURTS can kind of exploit that knowledge as well. We do see the gateway going up, and looks like they had a nice hop in there and got the cash out started on A, I believe.
One of the huge advantages, of course, of having that light on your team means that if they can navigate the map incredibly quickly and have that gateway set up for you, it just buys you a bit of extra time. Could make a big difference. We see...
Yeah, time and speed.
Yeah. They are related. Velocity, I believe, is the...
Absolutely.
Now, Crouch walking up the final set of stairs here, maybe looking to avoid the detection of Chickpea, who's on above. He's on Overwatch right now. Does spot them on the approach, and the jump comes through as they engage on the point on these risen platforms. But down goes Z in the early fight, and Chickpea needs to regroup and help out Zweko, because he's looking pretty rough right here, and this looks like a fairly solid fight right now for NoName, but they have not secured those final picks, and they're risking it here. There we go. Chickpea has managed to revive Z, and for all intents and purposes, that's a very profitable reset there for BURTS.
And they bring it down. This is suspended structures, and so it's not good to keep that structure up in the air. So we do see it going down halfway through the cash out, interestingly enough. Chickpea is kind of staying a good distance away from his team, but look at that kill, and he does bring them down. He's now going against, I'm not sure who he's fighting. He throws the glitch grenade going off, and he's making distance from himself. So we see kind of the setup going down. Quarter of the time left on the cash out, and there is a team wipe in place, so we're just kind of watching them get set up again.
Yeah, and then we have that timer playing in here. Really, I think the only option here for NoName is to go gung-ho and see if they can focus the point, force the point. That's got to be the call here. Following that jump pad up, second jump pad as well. They have to engage, they have to find something, anything, and get the stick, but I don't think BURTS are giving them much.
It just dropped.
They're going to try it, but they're forced off of it, and the winch does miss, but it shouldn't matter. The RPG comes out, does end up killing himself. And there we go, another team fight won here by BURTS, and they're just showing their superiority right now.
Yeah. It's interesting to see that the winch claw is being picked more and more. I think it really has a lot of merit just because of how easily you can grab somebody out of position, and I think that's what we're going to see exploited more and more instead of the shield. So those winch claws really important not to miss. It's got a decent reset time on it as well, so it's pretty important and can be really crucial in a fight like that. We do see Vault 2 being opened. They're all set up on the crane right now, and some pretty long-distance fighting happening from both teams. That shotgun is barely tickling them.
Yeah, this is not the position you want to be in, really, fighting from beneath. That vault has been tapped, but down comes the crane. That's going to force the engagement here. Chickpea trying to rain out some damage from a distance, and Zweko is tagged quite low as well, so doesn't get a finish. But there we go, Robinski taken down at range. That's going to be a huge boon for BURTS in this fight. They do manage to get them all up though, NoName, and now trying to retake towards that along the crane towards the box.
Yeah, it's crashed in a real interesting way, so they're having to fight and gain control over that destroyed structure. Was there a team wipe? I mean, the fighting kind of stopped. Did they just run away? I missed something.
Yeah, this is why we need a better, like, heads-up display.
Yeah.
It's so unclear. But, yeah, it looks as though they've got free reign of this box. They're taking it towards B. They know that the BURTS are coming in from that direction. They may try and get this plugged before engaging just to get that timer going. But no, it looks like they've thrown it away. In fact, they gave it to Pink side, and now Pink have thrown it away. And they want to get this team fight done before any sort of objective play happens.
Yeah, and I think they're taking it away from B. B is such a hard place to hold in this. It's in that little tiny, I mean, I want to call it an outhouse almost, because it's a little tiny room just off to the side of this big mansion, and it's just open. It gets destroyed real fast, and yeah, not the place that they want to fight. So it does look like both teams, almost agreed to like not fight here, at least over the point. They are going to have a team fight for whatever reason to get control over that box, I would assume.
Case. No chunky hit taken by Zwoko there, but nothing that he can't be healed up by, and honestly that's not the most profitable RPG. He still has his available. Oh, but here comes Chickpea coming in from behind. Let's take out one. Can he finish off the second? No, he can't, but that's fine. He can just dip back out, and he does get back into Fine Rabinski. Very clean fight there. And there you see the strength of the light, just having that one unknown factor in the middle of a team fight. There is still one up, it looks like. They're hunting the last... He's lurking around,
yeah, hiding out in the roof.
Hiding in the attic. Oh, he's managed to get one up as well, so we've actually got a 2v2 around the point here. They go drop him down. Healed. Close one there.
Goes
oh.
down. He's just trying to stay alive. He does get it.
So close there, but here comes the reinforcements as the spawns come in. And still, after all this, the box is still miles away. Chickpea had ducked right out to go and grab that. He said, enough of this TDM. I've got to play the objective at some point.
Yeah, that's why I was interested. It was interesting to see that they were just fighting. Like, the cash box had just been thrown halfway across the map, and yet they were like, let's engage instead of, let's reassess and regroup up. But hey, strategies, and I think that both of these teams do have that real competitive passion, and they just want to show that, no, I'm better. So we're getting a little bit of that right now, and a nice team fight is happening. Chickpea, I'm pretty amazed at the distance of these engagements that he's getting in with the XP gun, and it's just not the distance that I can do, so it's really shows some great aim from that SMG.
Yeah, that's why we're here and they're there,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it looks like they're moving across to B here with but now they know that this fight has to happen and they're committing to it. In come the shotguns of NoName, and they're just chasing them across the rooftops. They're determined to keep this fight going, but BURTS don't want to.
Yeah, this is a long fight over the cash box. I don't know where we're going to go, what they're going to do. Okay, it looks like they are making it all the way over to C.
Finally an opening.
Yeah. And here's Chickpea just waiting to intercept.
Ooh, there's an opportunity here, maybe, but oh no. He's got a stun for the one. He tries to burst him down, but just undercooking it there, and not quite finishing off. And the heavy cells as well goes in, doesn't get the finish, and that is a clean wipe there for NoName. But
there's still one up.
Oh, still one up. He got the defib off.
There's the wipe.
There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, that was just prolonging the inevitable at that point, really. He had two clean kills, and honestly, had Chickpea landed that first kill, it would have been a huge swing, but just leaving that medium on 1 HP made the big difference there.
Yeah, and you can see that they're waiting for the respawn before they got it started. There was definitely a delay there. Interestingly, in this one, I don't see a lot of advantage of bringing down the structure. It's right there. There's so many accessible ways to get into it, but I'm sure that they're breaking all the zip lines and ladders just to make it a little bit harder. But they're in a really good position right now because look at how far away they are on the map, and by the time they make it there, it's probably going to be a quarter of the way done with this cash out.
So Chickpea's going to be the first to approach. Of course, he has the benefit of that invis, but he's perfectly visible on his approach. Now trying to find just a little bit of intel, really. They're sending him as a scout at this point. Yeah.
NoName's in a really good spot. I think that they might take this cash out. And I don't understand why they're going so slow.
They're going for a gateway play here. So he's preset the first half of the gateway, I believe. He's waiting for his team to rejoin him here, so they can all go through. In they are, and now they're underneath without being detected. That is a very nice bit of movement there.
Very smart strategy, actually. Like, that's one of the most impressive things we've seen. And it really does give them just a lot of distance and a lot of space. And now everybody's really kind of confused.
Got them in, completely safe. And this HML comp, you're not going to win a war of attrition necessarily. They still have to get underneath and bring it down. And right now, BURTS have you know, still giving themselves a mountain to climb, and they burnt down the timer for NoName, essentially. Out comes jump pads as they escape where they were holding, and now they fire across from range. They're sitting on top of the cash box here for the defense, but not much damage going in either direction until that moment. Chickpea taken out, and there's the second onto Z, only Tobacco left, and I can't see him surviving this. He's the heavy trying to get across and get that res would be completely impossible, so he has to commit, and it's just a matter of time before he's down. It looks like that is the white, is it? Or have they got the respawn? No.
Yes, that's the wipe. Yeah. Rubinski with the shotgun, Model 18. Wow, that was some great shots. Yeah. Really good aim. And, you know, I've been using that gun lately just kind of for fun, and it's either works for me or I am just having the worst time. So there's a lot of skill in learning when to shoot on that, because it's such a tight pattern that comes out of there.
Worth mentioning as well, these two teams are playing across continents, so there may be, especially with guns like the Model and things like the Winch, a little bit of discrepancy when it comes to whose team. You know, this is NoName's map right now, so they're going to be having a bit more luck with those sort of registrations and things. So maybe that gives them a little bit of an edge here. That being said, they did lose that first cash out, so it's all down to this final one. Cash out number 3, and in comes the RPG. Not much value there. The Winch does miss, drops the shield, but has to dive out. Etelko on a smidgen of HP, but he's taken down. Defib is going to come out, but just in time it does come through. Very risky defib. Chickpea, though, is the last one here up, and he manages to take out Etelko. All bit of first damage there. It's absolute chaos, and Z's the one that comes out on top in the end.
Yeah, wow. That was, what a fight. Up, down, Rez is getting in there in such a close quarters combat as well. That's what you get with these shotguns. They are just running them up into their faces and just pulling off the shots. So we do see Z was the last survivor. I don't even think he rezzed his team. He just decided to run.
Yeah, well, you know, you've got those quick respawns, no coins in this quick cash mode, so you might as well just get that box moving, give your team that advantageous spawn, but as you can see, the position of those cash outs means that he can't really make too much progress, and the spawn that NoName have been afforded, quite a lucky one here to be able to block both B and I believe it's D, weirdly, in play right now.
Yeah.
B and D, yeah.
B and D, yeah. And it's just interesting, they're really taking their time to set up. I mean, both teams know that this is the last cash out, but I'm just seeing more over today, just a little bit of a slower gameplay. Both teams are taking it kind of strategically, and we're not kind of seeing the mass aggression that we've seen previously. It could be because of the stakes, or it might be that they're really just reassessing their strategy.
That's a big RPG connecting
great
onto
shot.
the players at the top of the attic. He's going to make that call, but unfortunately, just a bit slow to send in the troops. And unfortunately, with that double medium comp, you know that they're back up to full HP, resetting. And that RPG has a long cooldown.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. They got shot with the RPG, and they're kind of now backed off. The fighting's not happening directly again. And the cash out isn't even started, so we're at a interesting gameplay. More precise gameplay, I would say.
And they do have a bit of a height advantage here going to the fight. They're going to commit to it, going in deep with that shield as well, but they're faced with a mesh shield still from Etelko. Interesting one as well, considering, and there we go. Etelko is the one holding the shield. He does manage to get that box in.
Yeah, and it isn't that cash out I was just talking about earlier. It's
horrible.
Really one of the hardest places, in my opinion, because that whole building will be destroyed here in just a minute.
A great hook there takes out Z, and now the HMM comp should win this war of attrition as Chickpea has to duck on out. They're going to play for that shorter timer on respawn. Tobacco actually taking a lot of damage here as the heavy is falling back as far as he can. He's just about survived that skirmish, that 1 versus 3, but Chickpea's given his game away as well now. At this point, I don't know. At the moment, NoName are kind of toying between pushing for these kills to secure them and not. And it looks like BURTS, they have managed to regroup, and they're going to go for another push. They've maybe got another 2 fights here. If they die as a team, they've got 1 chance after this. But so far, we've seen very few consistent team wives.
Yep. Yeah, they're just taking it slow. And it's kind of working for both teams. I mean, I think that NoName is in a good position, but this will be kind of the deciding push, I think, right here. There might be enough time for one more respawn after this, but we are seeing Swako going for the steal. Z actually trying to steal. See the glitch mine going up.
Well, the shield is huge, but it's not enough if they don't stick it. And they They're in two minds here about whether to stick it or not. The shield comes up again, the dome, but they're just baiting the engagement, and the shotgun does come out. Finally, Zweko connects on some kills, but he's taken a boatload of damage there. Can see clean up. 1, 2, can he make it 3?
Ooh.
No! So close! But NoName just about claw that one through, and it's a Telco left standing at the end of the day, and that should be it with the timer so low here. NoName may just have done enough to take their first map of Skyway, but boy has it been close.
Yeah. I'm amazed they take so slow approaches, and then all the fighting is happening just really close and really kind of in your face combat. So it's a interesting way to play. But, there they go.
Le cache.
Huge.
There we go.
Yeah, technical difficulty there, but the Kingfish, NoName getting to celebrate their victory there. Very, very nice stuff. But that is, of course, only map 1 of 3. We still have Monaco to come, and that is BURTS map pick as well, so they'll be moving on to their server, the NA servers, and maybe giving them a little bit of an advantage when it comes to that map. So there's definitely all to play for still.
Yeah. And like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, I think that this will go 2-3 matches. I just don't see it going any other way. I think BURTS is really set up for this next match, and look at the spread. Telco 12 kills, that's impressive. And then Noah with 13 assists, so you know that he was just on that healing beam the whole time, all the combat was happening.
Highest support scorer in the lobby as well, as you can tell. He was just pumping out those heals, making sure that Telco and Rubinski stayed alive and stayed fit and fighting ready. Very, very good stuff there, and Telco being the standout player in that, especially with that clutch at the very end. It's interesting to see as well. Yesterday I was following a lot of these teams through their skirmishes in that double elimination bracket before they made it to these final 4 spots, and Telco was running the Lewis gun with the hook for that for those matches. We're seeing him switch now here to the shotgun with the mesh shield, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe I've got my... Either way, he's running the shotgun, and that's the main difference right now. So, is that a response to the type of team they're coming up against with BURTS, or do you think that that's just kind of a bit of a mix-up game, maybe some mental games going on?
I bet you they know who they're playing against. I mean, I think going against BURTS and knowing that most of them are running shotgun too, and we saw this happening. Like the combat was right in their face. So having the Lewis gun is better for the long distance fighting, and this just didn't happen in this match. And it might be map dependent. It might be just kind of that's what they're thinking would happen. But I think that'll either be confirmed in the next match because new map, and we'll see if they bring out the Lewis gun. Interestingly enough, we were talking about the Lewis gun earlier today, and it's just got that weird recoil. You can definitely master it, and people definitely have, but it's still just not the weapon I would pick, and I would basically run shotgun over the Lewis gun anytime. Yeah,
and honestly, I'm someone who's moved sort of slightly more towards the M60 at times as well now with that Lewis gun. That just the sort of side-to-side recoil that you get over a prolonged burst, it's really hard to track people. But I'm not very good, so if you can control it like you can, then makes a big difference. So if you control it like a Telco and all these other heavies in the lobbies can, then definitely it'll make a difference. We are heading to Monaco though next, and I would hedge a guess that they're probably going to stick with that shotgun setup for Monaco in particular. If we do get to Cis Horizon for that deciding map, maybe we get to see a few more AKs, a few more Lewis guns sort of rear their head. But we also saw the light of Chickpea come out that game, and it was something he mentioned yesterday. We were saying we want to see a bit more light action. We had it was like Amit as well throwing down the gauntlet to all the other teams, saying we got to see you bring out those lights. And now Chickpea's done it, but it hasn't cost... I don't want to say it cost them a map. They've lost a map. Is that down to having the slightly inferior comp, do you think, stymieing yourself?
I'm going to say no, because I think that there's a lot of strength in having a light and just the ability and the traversal that you got, because we saw them throwing up that gateway and getting their whole team moved in and out, and there's a lot more strategy. You do kind of get the downside of just having a teammate that can go down instantly. They're before you can even res them, before you can do anything, they're just down, and I think that's unfortunate, but it is kind of the high risk high reward with playing light. And I bet you he sticks with it again in this next match. I personally am of the belief that the game is designed to be light, medium, heavy is the ultimate combo, is the ultimate composition, just because you have a full, well-rounded team. And like I said, they are running it again, so we do get a light, medium, heavy setup one more time.
Rubinski's AFK. Just want to highlight that at the very start of map 2 on on Monaco. Rubinski is a little bit separated from the rest of his team. Catching up now as we see him. But that does give, obviously, NoName, who are now in blue. Oh, sorry, BURTS, who are now in blue. A little bit of an advantage here as they get to the vault first. We are on the duck and cover variant of Monaco, mind you. So those short-range gunfights that we were talking about that are sort of prevalent on this map, maybe a little less so across that central terrain in this variant.
Yeah, it does just give that big, wide open area. You know, the church is a massive structure, and just having that not here just kind of gives you more space.
Already, we're just seeing a little bit of reservation in both teams, not looking to take any early engagements. Any thoughts as to why that might be, Rio? Why are they sort of really double guessing over this point?
Because I don't know. The high ground, you know, has, I think it's NoName is on the high ground, and just we're seeing this more and more that there are fights happening over the vault.
There you go. We already see a lot of damage onto Noah, taking down a Telco, also very low, and that should be a clean wipe coming through for BURTS. That was what they were waiting for there, Rio.
Yeah, just that aggressive push. Somebody needs to take charge.
Very clean. Very, very clean. Nice jump pad engagement. About as basic as it gets, but, you know, they baited their opposition into the open terrain and landed some hefty damage even before making their connection. So, by that point, the writing was on the wall for NoName. But getting the first deposit. Of course, this isn't cash out, though. It's all about who owns that cash out at the very end of the timer here in Quick Cash. We're going to see NoName. Where have they spawned? Definitely not on this side of the map. Probably on the other side.
Yeah, they've got a ways to go.
Two options. Here or there, and they are there.
We see them going up on the crane, so they are getting set up in the high ground. Great place to be to defend this cash out. It gives them all the advantage, and basically BURTS having to push into them. So high ground is great. I'm sorry, BURTS is the one in control of the cash out.
Yeah, they swapped team colours halfway through, like between this game and last game. So yeah, BURTS now in blue, NoName now in pink. NoName dropping down here. They want to, no, I got it wrong again. Yep, BURTS in pink, NoName in blue.
I think it changes based on what team we're watching.
No, it's not. I'm just the.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah.
Well, cash out is halfway there. We do see them starting to push in. They're on the bottom floor. Rubinski running that Model 18 still. They're coming up the stairs, and I think the engagement will happen on top of the roof. They might try and drop this cash out down, and I think that might be the best strategy because they are kind of all set up. But no, they jump pad out, and they're going to the roof in that manner. RPG goes down.
Damage there. And
yeah, a lot of damage happening.
They have recovered their HP, but now BURTS are committing a huge chunk of damage there as well. They really need to follow up and capitalize on this burst. BURTS do, as Chickpea gets hooked, but not far enough as he's locked out by that terrain. The jump comes up, the stun is out. Doesn't finish him off though, as the RPG, it takes out Telco and the Assassin. A 2 versus 2 now playing out. Will a res come through? It looks like it has, potentially, but the timer is going down, and Noah has only the option of trying to stick this, but he's being harassed, and that will be enough for BURTS to keep hold of this cash out and get that first bit of money in their bank.
They do get wiped right after they get the cash out, but hey, that's what it matters. All it matters is the time. So they were able to hold it off just long enough, and that last little peek there on the stairs really secured it for him because Noah might have had time to grab it. Yeah, just kind of hard to see.
Very favourable spawn here in terms of the vault for NoName, though, as they will follow up and now have a bit more control over the remainder of this game, we would hope, because they've been really chasing it from up until that final wipe there.
Yeah, and we just see kind of the setup again. Their cash out, or Vault 2 has been opened. Both teams are pretty far away. We are going to see a fight happening on the roof. And Swako is running that shield now. So we only see one Windclaw in the shield again. Interesting kind of composition from his team. Does look like they got the box and they're running towards cash out C. They'll get this started, I think, uncontested. I think the fight's going to happen, yep, after the cash out gets started. So hopefully we'll see the roof get blown up, or they might be going in through this one area.
That's the option, of course, to knock that in and go down through the attic. And right now, as well, NoName are playing with virtually no intel. They have to play reactively. They've set up, but BURTS have the option of approaching from wherever direction it pleases them to. And we do have a barricade, of course, blocking up one of those entrances. And, of course, this massive billboard that does cause some problems. It's very nice cover. It's quite convenient cover here for NoName, as they still get a bit more of an idea of where that's coming from. There's the red canister to open a hole wide into that sideline, and through the second window comes a glitch grenade. Does connect, but again, no capitalization.
Yeah, and we see the C4 going down, so it looks like they're going to blow up the roof and then hop in with that RPG in it. They are getting glitch grenaded, or glitch mined, and that really does cause some interference, especially for the team. So they made sure to get that glitch mine down, and they are still taking it nice and slow. Chickpea almost goes down.
In goes Swaco, and Chickpea's backing him up. Can't land that stun. Does do it range, and that might help with the engage, but no, again, nothing secured. The heal beam's too powerful so far for NoName. BURTS are doing their best to burst through it. Rubinski with a key kill there onto Swaco as he closes things out. He is the only one up on his team, and there is still going on, but he cannot deny it.
Ooh.
And Rubinski taken out there by Chickpea. Looks like he will have just enough time now to clean this up, but his teammates are going to have to spawn on him. Has he got time to get the res before a load of people come in flying through? Yep, probably. That's
I think that BURTS has this. I mean,
yeah, BURTS absolutely has this.
Yeah, no time. And yeah, I think BURTS will take this map, just like I predicted.
Very nice.
So we will get to see Sis Horizon.
That is it. So 1-1 apiece there, and a much cleaner game for BURTS, despite it coming down to the wire on both of those cash outs. Some great play from Chickpea at the end there to win out the final fight and deny the steal, or rather get that steal at the end. So yeah, really big stuff. We thought NoName had a bit of control. Didn't work.
BURTS played that perfectly. I think that this is an example of playing slower and kind of getting in smart, and the time is running out, but they played it perfectly. They kind of were able to get all the mines taken care of, and then they blew up the roof and dropped it a little bit, and they gave themselves a nice opening area and got that first pick off. And ooh,
look at those stats on the side of NoName after a pretty stellar game on Skyway Stadium. And Telco going cold there with not a single kill. Rubinski doing all the heavy lifting for his team, but not enough.
And what a quick match. I mean, they really got two cash outs instantly, and I think maybe a total of 2 team wipes.
Rubinski out-fragged the whole of BURTS in that game as well. There's only 5 kills for the whole of BURTS, but 6 for
Wild.
It just goes to show, not only is it a team game, it's also an objective-based game. You can't just be getting kills. So, yeah, a much quicker second map as we head on over to Sis Horizon for map 3.
Yeah, that was impressive, and I think that it really does show kind of what BURTS can do. And both teams have shown up, but wow, what a weird match, and it definitely falls more into the objective-based gameplay than anything, because the objective ended up being just quick, over, done. And
there was no delaying getting the boxes into the cash outs, and that was what really drew out the last game. Was a lot of umming and ahhing, fighting over vaults that hadn't even been tapped yet, and this was just everyone heading straight for the box, getting it straight in the cash out, and then just playing around that. And maybe 4 total team fights, maybe if that. In the whole thing. So maybe we'll get a slightly longer game on Sis Horizon. Who knows? Again, a lot more open. Do you think we're going to see NoName switch things up here now after that drubbing from BURTS? Maybe they do consider bringing back that Lewis gun, bringing back the hook, doing something to deal with the sort of chaos that BURTS seem to want to play in.
Yeah, I don't know. If I'm NoName in that last match, I would really just feel like that was a fluke. Like, everybody has a bad game every once in a while. Things just happen. Sometimes, you really do have bad luck. Bad luck can happen even in the most talented players, the most talented, skilled, pool. And I think that's what we saw here, because I know these teams, I know these players, and I think that it just was a fluke. And so if I was them, I would kind of stick to my guns. I would run the same comp that I'm doing and just kind of show us what you got because they get one more chance, Skyway Stadium. And I think that we've seen some really good plays from both teams. So they're definitely know what they're doing with the setup that they have.
So I want to talk a little bit about Chickpea now, because we've seen that he's got what it takes as a medium. You know, he was the guy running the model 1887 and doing work with it before everyone else cottoned on. And now he's got a point to prove with, you know, the gauntlet being thrown down at him. Is he going to win this tournament on a light? That is the big question right now. We know BURTS have it in them, but with a light, is it possible? Because that game, I think, proves that he can be a difference maker.
I absolutely think so. You know, in my opinion, this is Bert's game. And as I was saying, you know, right before we went into the last match, I think that the ultimate combo, the ultimate setup is light, medium, heavy. I think that you just get the entire well-roundedness of this game, and you should be able to adapt to anything that's happening. And you know, there might be some variations with what guns you run, but I think that it's what this game was designed to be, and I think that they're able to maybe see that as well, and I think they're capitalizing it because here we go, he is running light one more time for us.
Yeah, he's not going to be changing anytime soon. It feels like with the, you know, the HHM that we've seen and HMM that you see a lot as well in this tournament, where heavies are limited to just the one pick. There's a certain ceiling that you can reach with that kind of playstyle, but while the floor is lower for HML, the ceiling is certainly a bit higher when you've got the burst and the explosiveness of a good light player on your side, and of course all of the utility that they bring that no one else can. Even just, you know, the gateways, the glitches, the stuns, even sonar grenades, which you don't see very often. Speaking of the glitches, here comes Chickpea tossing that glitch, and it does connect, but again, no capitalization. They don't have that immediate pounce that you might expect. Just toying with their food right now.
Yeah, and these long-range engagements are just so much more interesting with a light player because you don't have that good distance. You know, you have shotguns from Swako, and we have the light, you know, SMG, and it makes these long-range engagements just a little bit harder, in my opinion. So they're playing really tight as a team, which is great. But, you know, I think that they need to kind of push together because right now they're just spread out over this, you know, rooftops, and not a lot is happening. Like right now, like there's shooting, and it's just kind of like, okay, you'll go down a little bit, get healed up, and go back into it. I want to see a push. I want to see a push right now,
and
we might actually get it.
That's what we're here to see. The point is, right now, NoName are in a controlling position, right? They've got the box. They're saying, you can come to us. We are fortified. And they're just trying to bait this engagement towards them as much as possible. They have spotted Chickpea on the flank there, and that maybe signals that the jig is up for BURTS, who are back in pink now. It should be noted, we've got NoName in blue here. So they finally decide to engage, and here comes that jump going straight in, finding some money with that, and almost securing the kill. A bit of a whiff shot there, as now Etelko going down, like sort of against the run of play there. But Chickpea is also out of the count as 2 versus 2 will ensue. The shots come out, no. Doesn't secure it yet again, and it's all up to Rubinski here. The last one alive for NoName, and he can't land the shot in midair. That is Z winning the duels of the 1887s, and he will go straight for that box. Don't worry about getting the res. Get that objective on the move. Your patience has been rewarded, BURTS.
You know, and I love it when it comes down to just a one-on-one fight. You know, you've got both teams have lost people, and then it turns into a true, just like, combat situation. Throw strategy out the window. It's just kind of what can you do? Who can hit the shots? And yeah, it was cool to see Z there just kind of take it and able to finish this up, and he will get the cash out started for his team.
And they've got a fairly favourable spawn here as well, of course, spawning quite near their teammate, and now BURTS on the defensive as NoName look to take through this building. They've approached with pretty decent cover here, but they are spotted, detected at range. They have plenty of avenues of approach, though. They opt for this right-hand side through the sort of model room. Some shots being fired in warning across that opening. Rubinski very close to contact here with Chickpea, and he does take a lot of damage there in the early fight. Rubinski now called into attention to try and heal up. Oh, great teamwork there on the hook, finishing off Swako, and now a 3 versus 2 minus the heavy for BURTS. This is looking pretty good for NoName.
Yeah, that was an amazing pull. They looked like actually pulling skeet shooting shotgun. He had a target. They worked together. What a great pull. So Swako is now down. Chickpea is forced to kind of run around the map, do some damage, keep their attention distracted, but it was not enough, and it does look like NoName will get the steal.
Yeah, that's still just a formality, really, after the lethality that they came out with there. No response, no trade coming out from BURTS. And that is the difficult thing. If you use your heavy in this HML comp, then you really lack that staying power. Chickpea taking a bit of damage there, but of course we'll be able to heal back up pretty quickly with the decreased self-heal timer as of about a month, or well, 2 months ago now even. On
Yeah,
the light.
I personally like it. I think it's a great
I love
change
it.
to the light.
Makes a lot of sense. They needed a bit of longevity. You know, the ability to still duck in and out, but not have to wait quite so long. Great damage coming out there, and punished by his solo engagement there. And now the rest of the team trying to dive on in, but it looks like that's gone south to the side of NoName. 2 versus 2 here as Etelko and Rabinski still fighting for NoName. Etelko now the last alive as he loses his 1v1 there, Rabinski, and that is the finish. But up comes Chickpea. Unfortunately for Chickpea, despite that kill, and despite that team wipe going in BURTS' favour, not enough time to steal the cash out, and NoName are now ahead in the final map.
Yeah, you could see that desperate push right at the end, and they just weren't able to get it. So sad that they didn't time it right, but good for NoName because they were able to defend it for just long enough. We do see the fight.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say BURTS tapping the vault, I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Play-by-play caster does his thing. What do you think is going to happen now with BURTS on the back foot? They've got what? They've got to play a perfect game from this point out, really.
Pretty much. And we have seen similar plays, so it could happen. You see that glitch barrel going down off, and then followed up by a red barrel.
The rest of the team just a bit too far behind, and he's getting healed up, but he's not at max yet, and that is the heal beam on cooldown now. Glitch does connect, but the winch works through it and doesn't get him the kill at the end of it. Chickpea dealing a lot of damage at range, should be able to finish off this solo player with the kit in his pocket, and there goes Rabinski. Very nice stuff from BURTS, and well, I said they have to play a perfect game from this point out. Looks like they're making a good start on that.
Yeah, and we have low gravity going on, so that was a cool play from him as he kind of jumped in around the corner and got the shot off midair. Kind of just one of those little nice quirks of the variations that can happen. So we see them waiting for it to put it into the cash out station. It's getting started now, and I'm curious where the teams are on the
Coming
map.
through the yellow building here, NoName. So they're going to have a decent amount of cover until they get to that roof. And right now you expect BURTS would have seen that movement, but maybe not. We'll get to see based on their positioning. A lot of the time with this cash out, it just comes down to long range gunfights, right? Because you're battling across a very open playing field here, and this is going to be Chickpea's playing ground. Like he can kind of move about at will and just tell the team when to engage, land a money glitch grenade, and you expect that BURTS in this defensive position should be in a decent spot. But of course, NoName have navigated their way to a part of the map where they can approach it indoors, and that could be a bit of a boon for them.
Yep, and we see barrels going off, so it looked like they were trying to blow up the floor underneath them. And Telco just kind of backed up perfectly. There goes the cash out. It does fall down. You see barricades going up. Okay, they're in a good spot actually. The barricade, yeah. I don't see that stopping them. And I think they're going to get it. Yep, they do get the steal.
Absolutely get the steal, but the key is the team fight afterwards. A lot of damage coming out there, but unfortunately for NoName, they can't follow it up. 1 health does get the revive off, but surely Etelko's days are numbered here as he manages to throw the totem back off, and there we have it. Chickpea, again, the last man standing, and has more than enough time to get this cash out. How is it always him?
Yeah, that's just, what you get when you're playing a light. You can kind of bounce in and out. And, yeah, that's what he's doing well.
So it's coming down to the final cash out on the final map, Rio, and this is the upper bracket final as well. Whoever wins this will be guaranteeing themselves at least a first or second place and a lovely break before that grand final in another match's time. So Let's see where we head to here. It's we're heading to the other side of the map by not by choice of the teams, by choice of the or forced because of the position of those objectives. So we're going to see some action over on the green and blue half of the map.
Yeah, it did spawn really far away from both teams. Just kind of an odd. Nobody really had the advantage here. It does look like they'll meet up. Both are kind of tracking to get there around the same time. So we will see a nice fight happening right on top of Cash Out there, Vault 3.
Okay, looking for an alternative engagement route here, but as they opt to go round behind the route that NoName took, and the whole switcheroo of positions here. And NoName the first to tap it, playing on the defensive here again. Decide to reposition to that top floor. It's only a matter of moments before they actually get this title. You know, actually, I smell a stalemate here. I smell a long time before the next fight. Don't know what it is.
Yeah, I know it was doing great earlier, just getting some nice chip damage as both teams were kind of pulling into the point. And, oh, we actually do get it started right away. So the mines go down, see the goo going down, and the fighting will start immediately.
Well, the timer will start immediately. The fighting it looks like it is, yeah, there's a little bit of chip damage. They managed to get up onto this roof, which is a very advantageous position. Of course, you've got lots of height, lots of visibility, and thankfully for NoName, they've managed to duck themselves back into that corner. This staircase is where all of the action will take place, most likely. Lots of corners to play around. Oh, great hook there, but can't find the finish. Lands a great RPG as well on one of the mediums, but can't finish it off. Chickpea trying to clean up the mess, but everyone on NoName just hanging on in there, and the double heal beams come out and they get that reset.
Yeah, the healing beams are doing a lot of work right now, and this is kind of cool. Both teams are hopping in and out of fighting. Nobody's really gone down just yet. It's just been heals, fight, and a lot of damage. So this will depend on whichever team gets team wiped first, because I don't think there will be enough time after this cash out after the team wipe happens. So we do see a lot of fighting happening from the roof, and looks like Chickpea is down, but he gets the res time, you know, the healing back from himself. And
he's
the fighting
on
is
his
still
own here as well, taking that long approach across the top, and he's fallen down. A little bit difficult. It's always a bit more challenging to get that coordination going with the HMO comp when you kind of incentivize to play splits from your team, but they're going to force the point here, force the engagement, and we'll get to see from the overhead perspective how well they do this. No, he's fallen off it as they get pushed off, and where is Chickpea in all of this? That is my question to you right now.
He is far away.
No, he's not with the team. He's just unfortunately a bit disconnected, and that might be it. That might be the final nail in the coffin for BURTS.
Yep.
Down he goes. NoName secure it. The war of attrition and the HMM supremacy stands tall for NoName.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate. I mean, if he was playing a little closer to his team, he might have been wiped with his team, and they might have had enough time for a reset. But just being so far away and then drawing out that last engagement just didn't play into their favor. And you're right, there is a supremacy between HMM, and we're kind of seeing why. As much as I love lights, I do think that was kind of the weak part of their whole setup, at least in this match.
You've got to credit NoName with how they played that, though. That was just fantastic defensive play from a team that knew that was the advantage they were going into that fight with. Getting that box in and always backing away. Never fully committing to any of those fights until they absolutely needed to right at the end. And they just, like I said, won that war of attrition. Look, very low frag count across the board, honestly.
Yeah.
Chickpea with the highest. Proving that, you can be fragging, but you're still not necessarily what the team needs in that situation. Got to give him credit, though, in the round that the match that they won over on Monaco, he was the difference maker. So it really is, it's a go big or go home class.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's a high risk, high reward, and you can really play it perfectly. But you said it earlier, it is kind of team based. So if you're not near your team and you are still getting frags, you're not helping as much as you could. And I think that's kind of what we saw here, sadly, because I think that he is one of the top light players that we get to watch. We get to see this gameplay from, and I'd love to see more people encouraged and run out the light. But until the meta changes, it's really punishing to do it and then make a mistake like that. So that's kind of where we're at with the finals meta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, until you see changes to what the defib and the heel beam, that's going to be the case, I think. Really.
Yeah.
Either way, that is going to be it for our first match of the day on broadcast. But do not go too far because we're going to be getting our lower bracket final ready between Bailey's team pushing 30 and BURTS. So don't go too far.